Hello, folks, and welcome to this, a very special edition of Paddock Pass. We're here at the headquarters of Formula One's newest team for an exclusive first look at what they will be bringing to the sport. It's always an exciting moment to welcome a new team onto the grid. However, what makes this occasion a little more special is how strikingly different the cars are this year. Yep, the long-awaited new regulations are finally here, and with them, the start of the next era of Formula One. The 2022 season ushers in a change of direction to the regulations aimed at promoting closer racing, with new aero additions in the form of swooping front and rear wings, along with the new eye-catching 18-inch low-profile tyres that will push tyre technology to the limit. So then, the question remains as to whether this team can grasp the opportunity before them with both hands and lead the charge against the rest of the paddock. We'll find out soon enough, as the new season is just about to begin. But first, let's see the unveiling of the team's car and meet the owner of the brand new Formula One team. Well, first of all, thanks so much for inviting us here today. It's been wonderful to see behind the scenes. As you might expect, I've got about 1,000,000 questions, so let's jump straight in. It's been a long time since we last saw a team owner take their own car onto the track, and the sport's changed enormously in the intervening years. How are you going to handle the responsibilities of both managing and driving for a Formula One team?
I think I'll be using the Force.
Let's talk about your teammate. Now, it's clear they're excited to have signed with you, but tell me, what is it that you think they bring to the team?
Well, I'm hoping that they will bring us a lot of money.
So you've obviously been putting a lot of work into the car. I know it's early days, but how do you expect it to feel out there?
Well, it's going to feel very much like being in a very fast coffin.
Most of the other teams can boast years of experience in Formula One. Where do you see the opportunities to make those vital performance gains you need to put you within reach of the other cars?
I think bribery and blackmail will do.
Ultimately, your success this season is going to come down to whether you can take positions from the other drivers. What is it about your car that's going to give you that edge in those battles?
That's because there'll be a god driving the car.
And finally, with so many specialist departments working together here at your headquarters, and with such an important deadline coming up, who's getting that coveted Teacher's Gold Star? Which group do you feel the most proud of right now?
That would be the young lady who brings me my coffee.
Well, thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful to get an insight from you and, of course, to see around the headquarters. Thank you for today. Really appreciate it. And thank you all at home for watching as well. We'll see you very soon.
Hey, welcome to the team. Good to finally meet you. I'm Max. I'm the head of R&D here. I've been following your career closely, and I have to say I'm a huge fan. I think we're going to get on great. This is your machine. From here, you can track your performance, look into R&D upgrades, and much more. Let me know if you run into any problems.
So, as mentioned, this is our primary hub for the race weekends. There's quite a lot involved. As you can see, we have rivalries and lots of statistics and access to certain departments. All of this gets quite in-depth and quite technical. We're going to skip all of this for the videos, although in the background I will be completing as much as possible, including all of the practice sessions. But we're going to skip straight to the qualifying and the race sessions. Just be aware that I have completed all of the practice and earned as many resource points as I can and upgraded the car as much as possible. So, season opener in Bahrain, and we are at qualifying 1. And I have a very special tactic here. I've also done all of my setup. So my tactic here is to let everyone else go first, complete their flying lap before I leave the garage, giving me a nice clean track. As I mentioned, most of the settings on this, just for your knowledge, is set to medium. I do have the racing line set on so that I can use my braking points. I know the racing line, I don't know my braking points. I'm not a superb driver. So we're going to start out in qualifying part 1, and we need to make our way into the top 15 to make it through to the next part of qualifying. So if Gasly gets out of our way, we can make it around the next corner safely and begin our lap. So one flying lap around Bahrain. We're going to go as quick as we can, and we're going to try and at least get into the top 15. Now, while I was doing all of the setups, as I mentioned, everything's kind of set to medium, so I've got a little bit of braking assist, a little bit of steering assist, you know, a few little bits and pieces like that. Unfortunately, I did set the AI too low. It's currently set at 35%, which I discover to my horror is actually way too low, and I'm able to lap about 3 seconds a lap faster than anyone else, even though I'm the rookie driver in the brand new team. I was expecting to be quite near the back, if not at the back, for the start of this 10 race season. So my plans will adapt, and I will attempt to alter the AI of the game to make it much more competitive, but not impossible. So at some point during the next race, as you can't do it during the race weekend, I will alter the settings and make it a little bit more of a challenge. In the meantime, I have an idea for the race, so I'm going to pit early in the race and drop myself to the back of the field, and we'll see what happens from there. Can I make it through the field back to the start in a vastly overpowered car? And from the second race of the season, hopefully we will have a more competitive race weekends. So we managed to secure first place for qualifying 1. So that's not too bad at all. We won't have to go out again. So we'll speed up time till the end of the session, and we'll get straight into qualifying part 2. And this is where my tactic will be evident. So looks like we've held first place for the time being. It doesn't matter, we only needed to be in the top 15 to go through. Our teammate, Mr. Piastri, has not made it. So on to qualifying number 2, and we will now select the same tyres we used for qualifying 1. As we are so vastly overpowered, we're going to use used tyres to get ourselves into the top 10. And again, we're going to wait for everyone else to complete their lap first, and then we will go out to a nice empty track and set the fastest time we can. So this time round, I'm going to give you a bit of commentary on the track and the circuit, so to speak. So we're just on the pitch straight now, building up our speed. No, we've got one more corner to go. I'm not looking at the map properly. So there are a couple of cars still out. So we are now on the pitch straight. We're just going to pass the DRS zone and activate that. Begin our lap. And we only need to make it into the top 10, which is why I'm using used tyres. It will also mean, hopefully, that we have a nice new set of soft tyres. That's the tyres with the red markings on them. They are the softest, the fastest tyres, but they have the shortest lifespan. So we can really wring the neck of the car for a couple of laps, but not too many. gone very, very wrong there. That is a bit of a problem corner for me there. I do tend to get that one very, very wrong. Coming up next is a very difficult corner. If you get too wide out onto the outside curb, you're liable to lose control and the back end of the car. Luckily for us, we made it through. So the rest of the lap is now pretty much straightforward. We're just going to keep following the racing line here. We want to avoid the curb on the inside, as that will suck you straight into the wall. And we want to give it lots of welly down the back straight here. And if we can hook up the final corner, we should comfortably make our way into the top 10. So just foot down hard as we can, wait for the DRS zone, open up the rear wing for a little bit extra mileage per hour, and we once again get first place, although at this point it was inevitable. So getting back to the garage, and we will get confirmation. Yep, we are clearly out in first by over 2 seconds from our nearest current rival. So we're just going to speed up the time once again and get ourselves off to the third and final part of qualifying. So we have one of the Ferraris, both of the Ferraris I believe, yes. We have Max and Lewis and Russell and Lando Norris, along with Fernando Alonso in the top 10 there. So once again, this time round we will be using fresh tyres out of the 2 that we have available, the 2 sets. We will once again let everybody go out and set their benchmark time. Most of the other runners will go out and set 2 fast laps. I opt only for the 1. So let's begin a third and final lap of Bahrain for the qualifying session. And we head down the back straight once again. And if we can hook up this corner nicely, it will give us a good boost. We just caught the inside of the apex there. That was pretty ideal. So we want to hit the insides of the apex on most corners, excluding the one I mentioned earlier that will almost certainly pull you clean off of the track. The red and white curbs do tend to have a little bit more grip. So if you have 2 tyres on and 2 tyres off, it will help turn the car, which is why you see trying to hit the apexes just a little bit. It will help turn the car that little bit better and get us around the corners just that tiny bit faster. So once again, not quite hooking up my nemesis corner for Bahrain, but we are hopeful we can make it through the next corner here quite easily, as braked a bit too early for that one. Took too much of the inside curb there, got a bit bouncy. That's going to cost me a little bit of time, but not too much. And up we come to the nice long right-hander where we avoid the inside curb, hold the outside curb if we can, cut the corner as much as possible, and then down the back straight for the final time. And we have one more corner to go. And if we hook this up quite nicely, missed my apex there, doesn't really matter, as I'm sure we are seconds clear of everybody else. So a time of 1:32.3. Let's get back to the garage and see how everybody else is doing. So let's have a look at the timing screens, and then we've ruined 1 set of tyres, we've used 1 set of tyres, and we've saved 1 set of tyres. So it looks like we have secured pole position for the Bahrain GP tomorrow.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who'll be fronting the grid. Tempest, Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix.
So that's our first qualifying session of the season over, and we have secured pole position. Join us for the race where we will see if we can secure a World Formula 1 Championship. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.